From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeaux, and this is your News 8 Daily for Wednesday, January 8th. We are starting out cold. In the teens today. It is just going to be another rough one out there, and the temps are only going to get colder from here. Expect single-digit temperatures tomorrow. The good news is there's no snow expected today, but we could see some more precip, some more flurries, and potentials for snow on Friday evening. Stay off the ice. That's the warning from public safety officials as temperatures remain bitterly cold the rest of this week. News 8's Danielle Zolkowski explains the dangers.
This week's winter storm brought snowy and chilly conditions, but authorities want you to know it's simply not cold enough to safely venture out onto ice like this in central Indiana. Bargersville Fire Department Deputy Chief Michael Pruitt says central Indiana does not regularly see the temperatures northern states get to make thick ice.
They go under long periods of cold up there where they get that 20-inch freeze on ice. Ours thaws and freezes so often throughout the winter months, it just never gets that chance to be stable and thick. And it can range and it can change from being very thin at the shorelines to maybe a little thicker, and then it goes right back to thin again. You just never know what you're going to get here in Indiana.
Pruitt says this is a constant issue for his department between December and February.
We have children and adults and animals that like to venture out on these ponds. And what can happen is this ice is not formed up well and is not thick, and individuals can fall through.
If you see anyone on the ice, it is important to encourage them to get off immediately. If they fall through, resist the urge to go in after them. Pruitt says you will become the second victim.
They end up becoming a victim also. We do not want you going out there, and we know that's hard.
If you see someone go through the ice, Pruitt recommends calling 911 first and then throwing them something that could help them float. A basketball could work. Authorities say it is best to be proactive and remind your children and all family members it's important to never venture out onto the ice. I'm Danielle Zolkowski for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook for updates.
The Indianapolis Department of Public Works says crews are now focusing on connector streets with hopes of hitting residential neighborhoods before more snow potentially arrives this weekend. A DPW spokesperson tells us they are ahead of schedule but still have drivers working 12-hour shifts as they prepare for this weekend.
It is extremely too soon to tell. And so as we get closer and closer to the weekend, we will make a call on whether or not to proceed and which direction to proceed, because we might have to begin this entire plowing experience all over again.
Road crews also say they're working to salt the roads to prevent black ice from forming. Travel conditions across the state are improving this morning. Pike and Jefferson counties in southern Indiana are the only ones still in a travel warning. 26 counties are in orange under a watch, meaning only essential travel is advised, and 27 counties, including Marion, Hendricks, Boone, and Hancock, are now under a travel advisory, meaning drivers should use caution in some areas. State lawmakers go back to work in just a few hours. Today's the first day of the new legislative session. It's also the first session for the new governor, Mike Braun, after he takes office next Monday. This is a budget year, meaning lawmakers will work longer into the spring to set the state's spending levels for the next 2 years. News 8's government reporter, Garrett Bergquist, will be at the State House today and throughout the session. He'll have more on what you can expect from lawmakers this year, starting this evening on News 8 at 5 o'clock. Former Second Lady and the former First Lady of Indiana, Karen Pence, has launched a new initiative aimed at supporting Indiana charities. Garrett spoke to her about it to find out how you can help.
This is rooted in a foundation Pence had when she was First Lady of Indiana. She tells me she wants to help charities that reach people all over the state.
And so I started thinking, why couldn't I do that again? So I called up 4 of my friends, Garrett, who have been my friends for 30 years, and I said, let's start a charitable foundation. So that's when Hummingbird Charitable Foundation was born.
That was 9 months ago. Pence says she already has a fundraising luncheon scheduled for this spring.
One of the things we wanted to look at this time was how many Hoosiers are we benefiting? Is this an organization that's benefiting a lot of Hoosiers? We also wanted something that most people would want to contribute to.
This year, Pence says the Hummingbird Charitable Foundation will support 3 veterans charities. Indy Honor Flight takes aging veterans to the memorials in Washington, D.C. InVets helps those coming out of the military find jobs. And Indy Warrior Partnership helps connect veterans with housing, VA benefits, and other services.
It does have a special place in my heart because when I was second lady, I did a lot of work with military families, specifically military spouses. In our own family, we have 2 of our children who are serving in the military. Our son is in the Marine Corps and our son-in-law is a Navy pilot. So we know the sacrifices firsthand that our military families make, and we know how difficult it is for them. But most Hoosiers understand that as well.
Pence says she wants to support a different set of charities each year, using the money from the spring luncheon. She'll take nominations from the public who to support. The foundation will announce its partner charities before each luncheon. She says she wants to support charities with as broad a reach as possible, such as veterans or hunger.
So in Indiana, I would say to you, Garrett, the hardest thing is to narrow down who you're going to give the money to because there's so many great organizations.
The Hummingbird Charitable Foundation's first fundraiser luncheon is scheduled for March 27th. It will be at the Indiana Roof Ballroom in Indianapolis. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
The city of Indianapolis is launching another initiative to tackle mental health. The mayor, the police department, and other first responders say the effort will be through a unified response team. IT Mate's Kat Sandoval has the details.
When you make a call to 911, there is now an option for mental health crisis. Through collaborated efforts with the IMPD, fire department, and EMS, the team will take on mental health crisis calls. In the past, there was the Mobile Crisis Assistance Team, MCAT, or the Clinician-Led Community Response Team, CLCR. They all deal with the mental health crisis. But when they weren't available, the police were often called.
A law enforcement response isn't always necessary or appropriate for these runs.
This new initiative is a 24/7 collaborative effort where the fire department, EMS, and police will join forces to respond together.
IMPD will stand by and make sure there's no safety issues and let IEMS or IFD deal with it as much to the best of their ability.
Just making sure that we send the proper resources to people who are in mental health crisis.
Here's how it works. Dispatchers will determine if it's a mental health related call. MCAT and CLCR is on standby, and when they're not available, the Unified Response Team will respond. If the person is mentally ill, they will be transported to a local hospital for treatment. So why now, and why this new initiative?
To diverting those suffering from mental illness away from jail and into treatment, a goal that this new initiative shares.
In order to streamline calls, if you know it is a mental health crisis and not an emergency, Chief Bailey recommends dialing 988 instead of 911. Reporting in Indianapolis, I'm IT Mate's Kat Sandoval, Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
IU Health is blaming a security incident for exposing a limited number of Social Security numbers and some other data. It is the second breach in the last 2 months for the company. IU Health says it was discovered in November. In a statement, IU Health says someone got access to an employee's email account between August and early October. The company says it has started notifying anyone who may have been impacted. It is offering 12 months of free credit monitoring to those people whose data was exposed. In California, firefighters are battling wind-whipped wildfires tearing across the Los Angeles area, destroying homes and clogging roadways as tens of thousands of people flee from the area. Fire crews say at least 3 wildfires are now burning in the area, pushed by the Santa Ana winds topping 60 miles an hour in some locations. The fires include one in Los Angeles Pacific Palisades neighborhood that led to a traffic jam that prevented emergency vehicles from getting through. Firefighters say widespread destruction of homes and businesses has been reported along the Pacific Coast Highway. The city of LA has declared a state of emergency as fire crews say conditions could worsen today. Meta, the company that owns Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, is getting rid of fact checkers on the app. In 2016, the company launched an independent fact-checking program to address concerns about foreign actors using its platforms to spread disinformation and discord among Americans.
What started as a movement to be more inclusive has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far.
Meta says its policy violation scanner will now focus on only checking for illegal or high-severity violations such as terrorism, scams, or child exploitation, while other content restrictions on topics like immigration and gender identity will be eliminated. In Colts watch, a mainstay of the team's offensive line may soon say goodbye to Indianapolis. Center Ryan Kelly will officially be a free agent after the playoffs. News 8's Andrew Chernoff spoke to him about what may be his final game for the Colts.
Since beginning his professional career, Ryan Kelly has only known what it's like to be a Colt. 9 seasons wearing the horseshoe, ever since Indy picked him in the first round of the 2016 NFL Draft.
I was very lucky to get drafted to a team that was 2 hours from my hometown. So I was very lucky. My parents had to make almost every single game. Indy is such an incredible city. This is always home for us. We love it here. And to wear the horseshoe for 9 years, I mean, I don't downplay how special that is to be at one place for 9 years.
It's not guaranteed that there will be a 10th season in Indy for the 4-time Pro Bowl center. With the 2024 season now in the books, Kelly is a free agent. And with an uncertain future, you could see the emotion on Kelly's face as he walked into the tunnel after Sunday's season finale.
Yeah, it kind of caught me a little bit. I was coming off the field, just those emotions kind of boiled over a little bit. But it seems like, you tap your fingers and it's gone. But I can't thank enough Jim Irsay and his family. I mean, the trials and tribulations that my family has gone through or that I've seen other people go through, and he's always there to pick the pieces up, whether it's resources or time. I don't think there's an ownership that cares more about their players than he does.
Kelly has a huge impact whether he's on the field, here on the sideline, or even in the locker room. His teammates know just how important of a piece he is to this organization.
He's meant a ton, just being able to see, one, how to be a pro, how to be a leader, and also how to be active in the community outside of the lines. He's one of those true pros.
Making all the right calls and having my back on the field and in life as well just means a ton to me. And I'm happy we could send them off, whether he's back or not next year. I'm just happy we got a win to end it the right way this season.
A memorable victory in what could have been Kelly's final game as a Colt. At Lucas Oil Stadium, Andrew Chernoff, Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
Speaking of Andrew Chernoff, he'll be hitting the road with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish as they gear up to face Penn State tomorrow night at the Orange Bowl. You can catch Andrew live from Miami starting at 5 tonight on Wish TV. Girl Scouts will be selling cookies again soon, and this will be the final year for some cookie flavors. The Girl Scouts of Central Indiana says the s'mores cookie flavor will be retired after sales end this season. The s'mores cookie debuted in 2017. Girl Scouts are retiring another flavor that is not sold in Central Indiana, but is available in parts of Northern Indiana and the Evansville area. That flavor is called Toast Yay. It debuted in 2021. You can find out when you'll be able to get Girl Scout cookies at their Cookie Finder website. We have a link to it inside this story at wishtv.com. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.